Hi guys, I'm Bruno and I'm here today to show you how the Arabia update has changed the map, how it affected the meta, and what are the best civs right now. So, recently we have had a major update in the standard Arabia we play on the ranked games. Basically, it did three changes into the map. First, we start with three woodlands and they're attached to the edges of the map. Not attached, but linked. It means the woodlines will spawn basically behind you or in the side of each other, like this drawing here. Other thing about those forests, they don't spawn on the middle of the map. So the middle of the map is completely open, no forests, only aggression. Another thing about them, they spawn further away from your TC, so the maps are more open right now. There are two more changes. The second one is your third gold pile spawns very far away from a base. Sometimes it's even spawning on your enemy base. So far it is. It's closer to an enemy than for you. So you basically have now two gold piles, one with 7 tiles, one with 4 tiles to collect. And the third change that is very important right now, there's more changes, but those three for me are the most important right now, is that the hills now appear closer to the enemy, to the players. Meaning there will be lots of hills in the middle. There might be a hill in your gold, a hill in your berries. And if you lose control of this hill near your base, you're basically dead in most games. So those changes really will affect the gameplay. How is Arabia being played right now? It is New Arabia. Players can go for various different openings. Scouts opening into archery or fast castle, men at arms into archers, skirmishers, or also into fast castle, rush into fast castle, rush into feudal. Basically, those are the most used. Some guys might go forward now, depending on how the players' bases are. Sometimes the map are also really unfair, with one player spawning with golds. One player's golds is spawning behind his base, and another player's golds spawning in front and in a hill, which make it very unbalanced and very hard to play for the player with the gold in front and with the hill. But let's talk about walling a little bit. This update was supposed to make the games more aggressive, harder to wall, and with more fights on feudal, but that's not what's happening right now. First, because all the woods are in the back, so really, if you want to attack the player's woodline, not the easiest thing in the world. The guy will be almost always be able to collect his woods, and most times his gold will be safe, unless it's a very unfair map. He has both golds in front, then you can actually pressure him a lot. So that's basically how the Arabia is being played now. Walls are very easy to place. You can always place them in the same fashion in front of your TC because the woods spawn always in the same places. So for walling, I think this map, this new Arabia, is easier to wall than the last one. So we haven't had many changes in this department then. And the hills in the middle, they are I don't like them. They make the games very repetitive. It's always a battle for the hill. Some civs are just better at domain controlling the hill in the middle than others, which makes more unfair games. I like more well-distributed hills like the last Arabia had. And yeah, out of the top of my mind, I think that was it. So let's get into what are the best civilizations right now. I really wanted to do this guide for some time. So we're going to go in order. I will include Bohemians and Poles after. I don't have them here, but I'll do some video edition, I think. So let's go. First, on our list here in alphabetical order, we have the Aztecs. Aztecs are known to be very, very strong since the beginning of the Age of Empires, since they came up in the Age of Empires of Age of the Conquerors, for two reasons. Three, actually. First, they have amazing economy. They usually use it to have +5 carrying capacity on their villagers, and they had free loom, so without spending any extra gold. They were nerfed and now they have +3 capacity of carrying extra resources and villagers, and they start with 50 gold more. So this is a very strong bonus. Second thing, they have access to eagles. Just having access to eagles, a unit that can trade very okay versus knights and trade really amazing versus archers, and cost only 20 food and 50 gold. So you can basically have most of your views on gold. You don't need farms. You can spam eagles. That's a very strong unit. And another thing they have is the monks. Every upgrade you make on the monastery gives 5 HP for your monks. So Aztecs monks are known to be the strongest of the game. So right now in Arabia, Aztecs still S tier, one of the best civs you can have. Really amazing, really strong. Now we're going for the Berbers. Berbers are very interesting. They don't have a really strong economy bonus, but they have 2 bonus that kind of impact their economies. First one, their views walk 10% faster. Compare it to the Aztecs carrying capability. Walking faster is, I'd say, not even 20% of that. So it's a very, very small economy bonus. The best thing you have about views walking faster is when you're trying to save them from attacks, trying to garrison them into your TC. So that's an interesting bonus, but I wouldn't say that's huge. What's huge for Berbers is they're known for having cheaper, stable units. The light calves, the camels, the knights, all of them have 15% discount in their price in Castle Age, 20% discount in Imperial. And on late Imperial, Berbers has an amazing composition. So I would like to place Berbers here in B tier, but they are one of the best of the B tier, in my opinion. I may change them to A tier as we go, depending on the civs I put here, but because they don't have economy bonus, I think B tier is a very good place for them on the New Arabia. Usually if the map's easier to WoW, they would be stronger because they can only start having good bonus in Castle Age with the knights and stuff. That's why they're kind of an amazing civ in Gold Rush, because the game basically starts on Castle Age and you need a lot of knights, a lot of army to control the middle. But on Tis Arabia, I think they're tier B. Now we're going for the Britons. Britons, if the map allows you to go for Drush FC into crossbows, they're S tier, definitely. This map is a little bit too open, and it's kind of, I've managed to get maps where it allows me to go for Drush Fast Castle, and it was pretty easy. But I'd say it's about 20-30% of the time when you get those maps. And Britons on open maps, they are not as strong as in closed maps. But still a very strong civ. They have the sheep bonus where villagers collect sheep 25% faster, if I'm not mistaken. They have 1 extra range on their crossbows. They have sheep town centers, and the ranges work faster. If you can do a Drush Fast Castle, you have a 4 bonus benefiting 1 strategy. If you can't, they still have very interesting bonus for feudal and early Castle Age aggression. So definitely an A tier civilization, maybe one of the best. Bulgarians, very interesting civilization right now with the creep posts, free man-at-arm upgrades, cheaper and faster researching blacksmith. I'd rate them as the same level as Berbers, but with 1+, they are really good against Mesocivs. They have an amazing matchup against Aztecs, a good matchup against Mayans, and an amazing matchup against Incas. Just because their longsword line to champion line upgrades are free, and they don't have champion, they have until longsword, but it's free. Whenever the guy does eagles, you can counter them with the longswords. So that's why Bulgarian is amazing against Mesociv, but overall, I'd say it's a B tier civ. Very aggressive, very strong. If you can make use of their bonus, they can be very dangerous. I'd say they are also one of the best of the B tier. Now we have the Burgundians. Burgundians is a new civ that came to the game in January on a Lords of the West update, if I'm not mistaken. They used it to be really unbalanced. Now we are getting closer to a balance, but I still think the civ is crazy good. I don't know if I should put them on S tier or A tier. If they're only A tier, they are undoubtedly the best. Right now, they have one thing that is very amazing. They have one of the best economies in the game. Every economy upgrade can be researched one age earlier, and it costs 50% food less. Costing 50% food less would be already huge. Being able to research one age earlier makes it crazy good. So one of the best economy bonus on the game, have access to Cavalier on Castle Age, giving them +2 attack in comparison to Knights, fully upgraded Knights. If they can manage to collect relics, relics are incredible. Each relic for Burgundians is worth 3 villagers, 1.5 on food and 1.5 on gold, just because relics are able to generate food as well for them. And on Imperial, they have the so famous upgrade called Flemish Militia. If you need to take control of the hills in the middle again, you can upgrade it, remove the enemy's castle from there, erase them from the map, and then get back into the game. So for me, they still need testing to know if they're definitely S tier, but for me, I'll place them as the highest A tier Civ for now. Might consider changing it in the future, but for now, A tier. Now I have the Burmese. Burmese, until like 12, 13 minutes, Burmese are one of the best civilizations in the game. They have free wood upgrades. You can know where your enemy is from the beginning of the game because you can see the position of the relics, and like if you solve the puzzle, you know where the relics are, you know where your enemy are by because the position, like there will be an empty space with no relics. That's where your enemy is basically. And they have the +1 attack on mana terms. So if you want to go for a mana term rush with Burmese, they're very strong. Until 13, 14, 15 minutes of the game, they're amazing. Getting to Castaway, they still have the wood upgrade for free, which is amazing. But now they don't have Dumbring. They don't have +2 defense on skirmishers if you need to make them. Their skirmishers still die for a good amount of crossbows. They're not very efficient. Still efficient, but not perfect. I don't think they're amazing. So you're forced to go into knights versus archer civs. It can be good sometimes, depending on the map. It can be terrible. Going to Imperial, after the Iron Buy was nerfed, they don't have much good things in Imperial. They don't have an archer line that's very powerful. They have the champions with +7 attack if you fully upgrade them, but infantry in Arabia is not the best unit kind of army you want to have. So they have several good things, but they lack a lot of things. So this is the first Civ I would put on C tier because they have amazing bonuses of economy. Not amazing, they have good economy bonuses, but they lack a proper army. Also, they have cheaper monk upgrades if the game's Arabia rarely goes to monk fights, but sometimes it does, and those upgrades can come in very handy if you want to do redemption, for example. Costs only 240 gold, if I'm not mistaken. So they're a good Civ, nice to play on the early ages, but as the game goes, they keep getting weaker. Now the Byzantines. Byzantines, they are a strange Civ to play with. They are different from all the other Civs in the game. Different in the sense that their economy bonus is not actually an economy bonus. Their economy bonus is having access to trash units or bonuses unit, if you want to include the camels, for 25% less resources. In Castaway, their camels are the best in terms of cost benefit, beating the Berbers one, even though Byzantines don't have bloodlines. If you play versus archer civs, you can just spam a lot of skirmishers. They are really cheap. So I am in doubt between putting them on A tier or B tier. I really like them. Now they have Town Watch and Town Patrol for free as well. Before the update, they had only Town Watch. But the fact they don't have an economy bonus, especially early on feudal, kind of sets them behind on the game. Still one very strong B tier Civ, but not having a direct economy bonus kind of affects them. Really, it feels really good to play Byzantine spam army. So pretty cool Civ as well. Out those 3 B tiers are really nice to play, really unique. I enjoy all of them, but they still like economy bonuses if they want to go to the top, since economy bonuses are very, very useful on 1 versus 1s. Now we have the Celts. Celts. One of the best economies of the game, having 20%, 15 or 20, 15% increased speed of wood collection. I think I said it in a weird way, but you guys got it. The only problem of Celts, if you're not going to go Huangash, which I expect most of you guys won't, they don't have a really strong army. They have very strong infantry, but they're archers. They like tumbling. On Imperial, they're just useless. They don't have bracer. They don't have the last defense, if I'm not mistaken. I think they don't. So you can still go crossbow on skirmishers. Castaways, they will be good. Imperial, they'll be garbage. Knight line doesn't have bloodlines, which is a big no-no in Castaways already. They're forced to go for some kind of siege push, maybe pike and siege, maybe even using the weaker knights and siege. And if you cannot be successful early Castaways, when it goes to Imperial, you start lacking units to fight. Just like Burmese, they have good economy bonuses, but they don't have the units in which you can invest your strong economy into. So if you want to go wood harders, they're amazing, but until you make that transition, the enemy will have, like, if it's an archer civ, plenty of arbalasts, controlling the hills. So I would like to place Celts. Interesting civ to play, I would place them C tier, just because they lack good units. Chinese right now? Chinese is broken, guys. Trust me. They got nerfed in the farm. In farms now, they used to have plus 20, plus 45 food each. Now they have 10% of a farm food. Which means if you have no upgrades, how much a farm without upgrades have? I don't even know. 175? Yeah, 175. Is it? 150. Something like that. So you have 15 food if it's 150. You have 225 if you have horse collar. No, 175 with horse collar. Dude, I don't know these numbers. I don't know how I got good at this game, but basically you have 10%. Let's say if your farm has 250 food, you have 275 with China, because you got 10% extra food on the farmers according to the upgrades. Still, why are Chinese broken and the best civ in Arabia right now? In my opinion, first, their tech tree. They have fully upgraded arbalest, fully upgraded skirmishers, fully upgraded cavaliers, strong light cav, only lacking hussar, siege ram, champions. They have everything. You can go any way you want with the Chinese civilization. You can go for the archer line, the knight line, and even infantry. They have halberdiers, fully upgraded. They have full blacksmith. In the castle, they have Shukunus, which is a very amazing unit against siege, cavalry. Pretty strong civilization. Because of that, on economy, they still have 3 economy bonuses. Their farms last more because of what I just said. Their tech tree, their techs are 10% cheaper on feudal, 15 on castle, 20 on imperial, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 5% more, I don't remember right now. And it makes it really easy. They have auto units, and it's cheaper for them to switch into different armies. You want to switch from the knight line to the archer line in the middle of the game, you can do it quick because it's cheaper. You can upgrade your economies for cheap as well. And also they start with 3 vils more. After Loom, after having some TC idle time because you start with 0 food, you most likely always end up with 2 villagers more after the end of Dark Age. That's an amazing bonus as well. That puts, they're weak on the start of Feudal Age because they don't accumulate as much resources, but as the Feudal Age progresses, these 2 villagers will collect you so much more resources than the enemy that they're amazing. So Chinese definitely S tier. For me, they're the best Civ in Arabia. Just a sec, guys. Let me drink water. Cumans right now. Cumans, before the update, C tier or D tier. Now, on this update, Cumans are looking very sweet to play. To Arabia, I think this helps him. It's easier to WoW, in my opinion. Their stables and archery ranges don't cost 175 wood more, they cost 75 only, 100 wood less, making it really easy to spam to make military buildings and 10 the TC, or make the second TC on feudal and then make military, making it easy to defend, easier to boom, easier to WoW. For me, Cumans can be A or B tier now. I'm not gonna dare to put them on A tier, from C or D tier to A tier right now. They still need testing, but I played with them. They feel strong right now. They feel really good. I can't put them below B tier right now. They are insanely good. Also on late game, they have one of the best cost-benefit compositions in the game. Kipchak costing 35 gold. You lose one, you can make like 10 others. They're so cheap. They have one of the best hulsters in the game, being the fastest, fully upgraded, and the fastest one. They don't have really good skirmishers, but they can do the job. They only like Bracer. They have champions. Not sure if they have supplies or not. We'll have to check that. Still having champions is good to deal with some civs like Goths, Aztecs. Pretty good civilization right now. I would set them right now as the testing I've done with them on ranked middle B tier. Now the Ethiopians, known to be broken on Empire Wars, one of the best civ. On Aram though, they're still very good, but they're not one of the best. I think they get clapped by alt A tier civs, but they still are very strong. They have free pikeman upgrade, which is kind of cool, but not their strongest bonus. They have 100 food and 100 gold every time they advance to a new age. So on feudal, they get 100 food and gold. Castle age the same, Imperial the same. So having these resources really early open lots of windows to do some kinds of strategies. Like it helps you a lot in the Manatarm rush. It can make you go faster to Castle age if you want to do just a little bit of farming and then go up. Their archers shot fast. That's amazing, especially versus knights. The fast shooting archer does incredible damage. Their output of damage is incredible. So for me, Ethiopians, very good, very solid civ. Their arbalests are insane as well. They have siege ram. Their stable tech tree is pretty bad. That's what they lack to be S tier in my opinion. Overall, very solid civilization, A tier for me. I'd say a low A tier. They are way worse than Burgundians, they are worse than Burgundians in my opinion. They still have the archers to deal damage versus the cavalry, but Burgundians' economy is better, so yeah, I'd put them end of the A tier, maybe top of the B tier, but I'll keep them on A tier for now. I really like them. I think they're better than any of the civs I've put on B tier until now, so A tier sounds good for them. Now the Franks. Open maps, usually better for Franks, right? I always felt Franks are in between S tier and in A tier. What is special about Franks is they used to have the best economy in the game until 18 minutes. It was tested. Right now, after the berries nerf, it was made it the last year. I haven't tested before, but still one of the more solid economies in the game. They collect berries faster. They have bloodlines for free on Castawage. Also, their scouts have more HP on field though. They have horse collar and heavy plow for free. I think crop rotation as well on Imperial. Not sure if they get it. I think they do, almost surely. Yeah, they do. I saw it before. They have the strongest cavaliers and paladins in the game. Very solid civilization. Could be one of the bottom 8 tiers, S tiers, or one of the best 8 tiers. Right now, I think Burgundians are better than them. They have a slightly better economy, but I think Franks should be here. Top of 8 tier. Franks, yeah, it feels good to play with Franks. They have some trouble dealing with cavalry archers though, and S tier civilizations like China can just go camels and crossbows, for example. And Franks, they can deal with that, but they kind of struggle to deal with the camel and archer approach. Full eagles and monks also kind of strong versus Frank, kind of hard to defend. So I think they die to the S tier civilizations. That's why they are on A tier. Same for Burgundians, why I'm putting them here. So I think top 8 tier suits Franks very well right now. Also, if you like going Scout Rush or F-Seek Knights, Frank's the best civ for that. Other bonus kind of come close into going for Scouts or Knights straight away. That's my opinion of Franks. Now, the Goths. Civ that's loved by many low elo players. The Goths. I hate the Goths, man. They don't really have good options. Their economy bonus is they have free loan on Dark Age. You still spend 50 gold, you get the loan instantly. So you don't have the extra gold, and you get loan instantly. Basically, that's it. It's good for laming, but you get 1 view extra for this, but still, this 1 view extra will only count after you click for Feudal, right? Because most players are not doing loan until they click the Feudal. So that's when you will start having 1 view over other opponents. Different from China, you have the 2 views since the beginning, but you start with less resources. It's like way weaker. In my opinion, Gods should be D tier. They don't have really strong archer option. Like their archers, you can do them early castle, their knights as well. They don't have a good future if you keep doing them on Imperial. Their economy is not the best. They have cheap pikemen. They have good Huskarls, but to make Huskarls, you need to put up a castle. You need to have lots of farms, and it's hard to get to that point. On the other hand, though, if Gods go to a very late game, they can be one of the strongest civs. If you can manage to complete your boom and spam infantry, Gods is one of the best civs. In Tis Arabia, you rarely, very rarely get there. D tier. The Huns. The Huns are a civilization I love, but also a civilization that is not very strong right now. It's still very strong, but they're not S tier definitely. They just died to China, Aztecs, Mayans. They really can't compete with the civs, but they're kind of good versus civs that don't have a good answer versus the cavalry archer. For example, Franks, Burgundians can do skirmishes and have an amazing economy. Franks have some kind of trouble dealing with CA. If you get to a mass of CA fast, you can deal with eagles easily, but until you get there, you're kind of in trouble. But what's good about Huns is those 3 bonuses. The staples work faster. You don't have to do houses, so you save a lot of wood. Like I saw a video of Spirit of the Law, you save 40 wood per house, not 25, because if you also count the time of the view building the house, it accounts for 40 almost. Also, you don't get housed. You can't forget to make houses with Huns because you don't need them. So this is a pretty strong. And the final bonus that is very strong is the cavalry archers are cheaper. They used to be even cheaper in the past. Now they're 10% cheaper in Castaway Age, 20% cheaper in Imperial Age. I would put Huns, and they have a good tech tree as well. I forgot to mention. They have fully upgraded knights, fully upgraded crossbows, and CA on Castaway. They're a pretty strong Castaway civilization. They have siege run on Imperial. That's all the units you like to use on Arabia. They are available with tons. They have the Tarkans with 8 pierce armor that can do very well against archer civs, very well against cavalry archers as well. So Huns has a lot of options and interesting economy bonus, not as strong as S-tier civs, not as strong as Burgundians, but they're solid. Definitely a fun civilization to play with, and they have lots of mobility in their army as well. So if you want to run around, poking enemy economy and running, hit and running, Huns is your civilization. All right, let's go to Incas. Incas, they are a worse version of Aztecs. They have 3 economy bonus that is not worth 1, I think. Let's say their 3 economy bonus are worth 1. 1 that is not very good. They make cheaper. You need less houses because houses provide you 10 population. They build farms faster, which is not a big thing at all, and you get an extra llama. Those 3 bonus, if you combine them and make it into 1, I'd say it's fair. 1 bonus that's not really good. The good thing about them is you have access to eagles. And you also have access to slingers, which kills the counter to eagles. That is the longsword. So that being the case, I'd say Incas are B tier or C tier. I'd say they are one of the best of C tier. I wouldn't put them on B tier. Because they lack a lot of stuff to be good in Arabia. They have fully upgraded arbalest though, but their economy is really not good. They have really strong man-at-arm rush into archers, I guess. I'd put them either low B tier or C tier, I don't know. Because they have access to eagles and they kill the counter of eagles with slingers, they can be a low B tier, I think. I think they're better than Burmese and Celts. Yeah. Let's put them on B tier for now, for sure. Indians. Indians is a civ I like to play with. People say Indians suck. I like Indians. They have a pretty strong bonus of economy. Their villagers being cheaper. Also, the fishermen collect fish faster, but you're not seeing fish in Arabia anyway. So we're gonna ignore that. What's good about Indians, aside from the views being built cheaper, is their light cavalry and camels have +1 defense on castaways, making them very strong against archers, and especially the camel versus cavalry archer. They have access to fully upgraded skirmishers, fully upgraded hussars. You don't need to do the plate bearing armor, which makes the hussar upgrading process cheaper. And I think they're a solid B tier civ. Especially versus archer civs. I would be very fine being an Indian player versus a Briton, a Ethiopian, and a Huns. I would not like to be Indians against Aztecs, Mayans, or Shina, but against archer civs, full archer civs, I think they're good. They have their place, like they have their good matchups for sure. It's a civ that is very cool to play with, just because they save a lot of food into making villagers, and you can use that elsewhere. Now the Italians. Italians have, for Arabia, basically 2 bonuses. They go to the next stage. Their upgrades to the next stage are cheaper, costing 20% less food and less gold, if I'm not mistaken. Not 20, 15, I think. 15% more, less. So their upgrades cost 15% less food and gold, making it easier to go castle, imperial, feudal, whatever. In terms of units, they have fully upgraded cavaliers, fully upgraded hussars, fully upgraded arbalests, with even a crown the castle giving them 1 more defense, as access to the Genoese, which is an archer unit that has bonus versus knights or cavalry in general. They're a solid civ. I'd say their economy bonuses are not as good for a 1 versus 1. Maybe in team games they're better because of the Silk Road upgrade making trade cards cheaper, but on 1 versus 1, I'd say they are B tier. A good civilization B tier, pretty good on post-imp with the Hussars and Archers, but their economy bonuses don't account for A or S tier. Japanese, one of the stronger civils on early game, although it gets weaker as the game goes. They have cheaper lumber camps, cheaper meals, cheaper mining camps, costing half of its price, faster attacking infantry, making their man-at-arm hush really strong. And what else they have? In terms of bonus for field, I think that's it. They have fully upgraded CAs, one of the best in the game if you can get to it. They don't have a good cavalry line. I thought they have fully upgraded knights just for Castawage. Their cavalry suck, their light cav suck, but their knights on Castawage are okay. Fully upgraded archery and archery line, as I said about the CA already. They are a pretty good B tier civilization. If you can take advantage of their bonus early feudal and get some damage, you'll be fine for the whole game. If you can't, if you're even, as the game goes, they will be getting weaker because their economy bonus is kind of a one-time thing, but not. Like you use a few times, you make a few lumber camps during the game, but the further away it goes, the longer the game goes, the less efficient this bonus is, the less worth for resources. And they don't have a really strong army on Imperial. They have the Yasama towers, which is towers that shoot many arrows without the villagers being garrisoned. You need an upgrade for that, and it's not that cheap to upgrade them to keep an Yasama towers, but they're good to control the map. So for me, Japanese are B tier civ, and it's, yeah, I don't think they have chances versus the A or S tier civs. They might be pretty good getting advantage earlier versus those, though they can be tricky, definitely. Yeah, mid B tier civ for Japanese is pretty good. Now we have the Khmer. Khmer, amazing tech tree. Only lacking the Thumbring for the archers. Other than that, they have fully upgraded CA, Arbaleth, Skirmisher. Thumbring is kind of big though. It makes your damage output 18% higher. But still, they have fully upgraded Hussars, fully upgraded Cavaliers, and very interesting economy bonus, which you can place farms anywhere you want, and views don't need the delivery on town center, making the farming collection rate faster. And also you don't need extra meals for them because you just place the farm wherever you want and you're fine. Views can garrison houses. That can be very helpful in the New Arabia. You don't really need to, wow, just make houses near your economy and garrison your villagers, saving resources from walling. That's really nice. For me, Khmer, they have the extra range on Scorpions, making it really good to counter archer civs with Scorpions. If you're going Knights and you need a few Scorpions, their Scorpions are just amazing. In my opinion, Khmer is a A-tier civilization. In my opinion, they're better than Britons. They're really, Khmer, they're not as good against cavalry civs. They're amazing against archer civs because their economy bonus is fully upgraded skirmisher and Scorpions. So for me, Khmer, A-tier civ, one of the best. I'm putting the civs in order, by the way. The ones I think are stronger and weaker. I prefer Indians here. Japanese here, Indians here. No, Indians here. Incas, okay. That's just in order, guys. Koreans recently has Civitan buff end of last year. Now their archers defense is upgraded instantly and for free. Their archers already other military unit except siege costs 20% less wood, including ships. We don't see many ships on Arabia though. If you would see any at all, I don't think there's lakes anymore, so no ships for us. Have free tower upgrades, collect stone faster, have access to the war wagon, which is a very efficient counter to archer units. Pretty strong civilization. still, I don't think it deserves A tier. Just cause they don't have bloodlines, their cavalry is weak. They have a very good they don't have a really good economy bonus. Yeah, I think they deserve, they're high on B tier, in my opinion. Yeah, I'll put them here. Yeah, pretty okay. Not strong economy bonuses. They have ship armor, but yeah, I don't think they can compete with those civs here. I think they're good versus the archer civs, those 3 last, and including Huns. But versus those 3, I think they just die. So they have good matchups versus archer civs just because of the free defenses and the war wagons. But their economy is not amazing, and I don't think they should be on A tier just because of those matchups. I think B tier suits them better. All right, Lithuanians. Lithuanians is a pretty strong civilization. I think A tier for sure after Franks. Why? First of all, they start with 150 food. Huge bonus for Dark Age. Really huge bonus. You can take advantage into that and get an early damage on your opponent. Going up like with 18 pop scouts or even 19 pop man-at-arms can be really strong. You also can go for the fast rush because you have so much food on Dark Age. Their tech tree, they have the best skirmishers in the game, arguably. Maybe they're even with the Imperial skirmishers from Vietnamese. They have fully upgraded, now they are not fully upgraded paladins, they've been nerfed on the Blast Furnace, but they have access to the Winged Hussar, which is, the upgrade for a Winged Hussar is more expensive than to the Hussar, but they got 2 extra attack and they don't have to upgrade Blast Furnace. All in all, I think the cost for upgrading a full upgraded Hussar and a Winged Hussar is the same. So I don't think they have been, I think only their paladins have been nerfed. Their Latties and light cavalry not. They have amazing fast running halbs. They don't have access to the last infantry defense though. They have fully upgraded CA, missing only Parthian tactics. They have Paladin, as I said, Winged Hussar. The Lattice is very good against melee units. They have hand cannonry, bomber cannon, full monk tech tree, and the best bonus in my opinion, the relics give extra attacks to the knights. If you can collect 2 true relics, your knights will be literally broken in Castaway, shredding everything. So Lithuanians top, one of the best civs on A tier. Versus archer civs, they are amazing. You can just do fast moving skirmishers and fast moving pikemen as well. Their skirmishers are so good to counter like a Briton or an Ethiopian. Indeed, a very good civ. Now the Magyars. On the more open Arabia, Magyars can get a buff, but in my experience on high level, I don't know about you guys, the lower levels, but people are still managing to wow before the first Magyar scout can get to them on field of age. So still, Untitled Arabia can't make use of the strong Magyar scouts, which is their only strong bonus on field of. They're cheaper and they have forging for free. Scouts cheaper and forging for free. Villagers kill wolf with 1 hit. And they have not much more bonuses. So if you can't make use of the scouts, you can make use of the free iron casting of the knights, of course. But players are walling so fast, and that makes it hard. On a map where you can't wall, like at Takama maybe, Land Madness, Magyars are amazing, maybe S tier, but on Tis Arabia right now, they are not very strong. In fact, they have very few bonuses that can be used. But if the games go late, I have to say you have the best CA in the game, the best late game in Arabia. Let's say it's Magyars, the Magyar Hussar and the Recurve Bow CA, one of the best combos in the game, if not the best in Arabia in terms of cost benefit. Very strong Civ in late game, very weak in early game if you can't make use of their forging scouts. Now we have the Malay. Malay in arena, S tier. In maps you can wow really fast, S tier. In maps where you don't need to make army on feudal, perhaps S tier. On this Arabia, problem with Malay is they up so fast to the next stage, their bonus is upgrading to the next stage faster, that you kind of don't accumulate resources. So you go up, you get like 2 views extra on feudal and 3 on castle age for that time you save, but you get there, you're not very strong. You don't have many resources to invest, and that kind of slowed them down. Also, they are not very strong on Imperial age. Of course, they have the cheaper elephants, fully upgraded arbalest and the karambit, which is a very strong unit right now. But still, I don't see how they can have a really good power spike on feudal or on castle age by benefiting for their faster uptimes. So I would like to place them on C tier, maybe D, D no, B or C, more for C. I think better than Burmese, better than Celts because they have better armies. Yeah, I think they're top C tier because it's hard to play with them. They are too vulnerable on the beginning of each age just because they don't accumulate resources. They don't have hussars on late game as well. Their knights don't have +2 defense. You force it to do elephants if you want a melee unit. It's kind of very hard to place in certain scenarios with Malay. But you can always go imp and do arbalest quick, which is a lifesaver many times, but still I think they belong to C tier. Next one, the Mallions. Mallions in the past were here, then they were nerfed a little bit, they were here, now after the last update, they have been nerfed again, losing the gold meaning upgrade. Okay, the devs gave them longer lasting gold, lasting 30% longer, but you're not gonna make use of it in the first 30-40 minutes of the game. So you basically lost the free upgrades that you'll have since the starting of feudal age, would help you to do archers, would help you to up faster. You just lost it, and now you got longer lasting gold, which is weaker in my opinion. Best B tier Civ, Mallions, after Berbers, second best, just because they were nerfed. What do Mallions have good going for them? They save wood in every building, every stable, archery range, barrack, mill, lumber camp, TC, siege workshop. They are saving 15% wood, amazing bonus. They have stronger man-at-arms, stronger infantry in general against archers, because they receive 1 defense of bonus on each age they advance. So it's really hard to deal with the Mallion man-at-arm rush with archers because they live so long. It's hard to kill them with arrows. Archers make 1 damage on them, with flashing perhaps 2. Yeah. But now, without the gold meaning upgrade, I feel they lost a little bit of power. They still have a good early castle, late castle game with the ballistics coming in faster if you want to go for archers on the university. But you basically can build a lot of units with your wood and you have nothing much more. On late game, they have the Champscrolls, which is champions with 3 extra defense against arrows. Strong units, very good against arbalest. But if the enemy can make meat shields, the arbalists still kill them. I think they don't have a really strong composition in Imperial. They have Farimba camels, light cavs, and cavaliers, but they don't have an archer unit with meat shield, which is the basic combo for Arabia you would like to have. That's so cost efficient. So after losing gold meaning, I think they became a worse Civ. I would put them with gold meaning, Mallions, in my opinion, here. Without the gold meaning, yeah, maybe here, Mallions, I would put them with the gold meaning. They dropped a little bit for sure. Losing a economy upgrade like that is really bad. So, all right. Now we go for the Mayans. Mayans. Like the perfect Civ for Arabia, other than China. What do Mayans have? The resources last longer, meaning ships last longer, boars, deers, berries, Your woodlines last longer. You don't need to make lumber camps as often. Your gold lasts longer. Your stone lasts longer. Everything lasts longer. Really good economy bonus, especially for early game and also late game for your gold not ending. It's huge as well. They have really cheap and strong army that is mobile. Their eagles, access to eagles is just because Civ has access to eagles. Let's say Incas without eagles, they would be D. Aztecs without eagles, B. They just go up 2 tiers. Eagles are an amazing unit, and Mayans have the best eagles in the game with the Eldorado upgrade. They also have cheaper crossbows. On each age they advance, the archer line gets cheaper. So they have cheaper, 10% cheaper on Feudal, 15 on Castle, 20 on Imp. You can just spam Arbalest on Imperial, you almost don't feel the price. And they have cheaper walls as well. If you're planning to wall, which is on the meta right now, you have to wall, otherwise you just die, get raided. You don't see 2 archers kill all your eco. You tell me. The Mayans have cheaper walls as well. They start with 1 villager more, but you get house that you have to do loom, so loom straight away. But still, you keep that 1 villager more for all the game if you play well. Pretty good economy bonuses. The villager, the archers, the resources lasting longer makes their man-at-arm rush, their archer and crossbow transition very, very smooth. Mine's definitely a very solid Civ to play Arabia. You can always transition to eagles. They have fully upgraded halberdiers as well, siege ram, plumed archers, which is a mobile archer unit with 6 defense versus arrows. Also with a bonus versus infantry. Amazing Civ. For me, the second best on Arabia. Really good to play Mayans. Now we have the Mongols. If it was a real hard to WoW Arabia, Mongols could be tier B. They have such a powerful power spike on early feudal with their Haunt being collected faster. But it's not. It's easy to WoW still. Mongols, they go straight to B tier after Incas, in my opinion. Mongols, they have also faster shooting cavalry archers. They have access to the Mangudai, possibly one of the best, strongest castle units in the game. It's not very effective against archers since it's very expensive. You really need a meat shield to accompany them. But overall, very solid Civ, very good scout hush. You can surprise your enemy with man-at-arms and towers maybe, or only man-at-arm and archer very, very early. You can certainly do a 19 pop man-at-arm and archer build, and this can be devastating if your enemy's map is really bad, which happens sometimes. Also, if you plan to lane, they have higher line of vision in the scouts, line of sight. So it's really easy to find enemy boars, resources, and whatever. They're fun Civ to play, indeed. I like to play them. They have a versatility in which you can go archers or cavalry, at least in Castle Age. They have one of the best hussars because of the HP bonus, but their skirmishers don't have the last upgrade on Imperial, also Arbalest and the Mangudai, but they kind of like this. They kind of depend on going for a Mangudai transition in Imperial, and usually you don't have time for that because you have to do Mangudais in castles and you need 2-3 castles. Until you get to that point, your enemy is fully boomed, grabbing your castles already with more army, so it's very hard to play, to make this transition in post-Imperial with Mongols. I'm looking at the visual time, we are 15 minutes in. Whoa. I think I'm gonna put timestamps in the videos, guys, if you just want to see one Civ or whatever. It's getting too long. I don't expect anyone to watch until this point anyway. Well, let's keep going. Now I started, I have to finish it. Persians. The Persians, pretty interesting economy bonus. Their TCs and docks work faster. You're not seeing any dock in Arabia. They're pretty strong on hybrid maps. Persians, one of the best Civ in maps like Four Lakes, Bay, High Tides, hybrid maps overall. On Arabia right now, I'd put them on the bottom of C tier. They have knights with +2 attack versus archers, TC working faster. They start with 50 food, 50 wood extra. Pretty good to go drush or scouts a little bit. They have a pretty solid composition if you go to a point of the game where both are lacking gold with the trash bulls, but before the gold ends, they don't really have a good army composition. They lack a powerful archer unit. They depend on their cavalries. They have camels. They have siege ram and halb, which is very good, solid economy, enough to place them on the end of the B tier. They are getting saved from C tier, I guess, but still they're not terrible, but they're not amazing to go to A tier. I would like to place them on B tier. I think that's the place they deserve right now. Yeah, they have Tumbling. They have a pretty strong caster unit, but until they like their boom is better because it produces fuels faster, of course, but until it's worth something, it will take some time, and during that time you'll be fighting armies with civs with better economy bonuses like those on A tier or even S tier, and then it's really hard to keep up with them with those economy bonuses. So that's why they're B tier. Yeah. Even those Berbers, Mallions, Bulgarians, I would prefer them over Persian, Byzantines for sure. Mongols are tricky, maybe over Magyars. Yeah, okay. I'm satisfied with this. Portuguese. Boom. That's it. Portuguese, the research technology is 20% faster, which is not a fantastic bonus. Can save half of it, 1/3 of a view on Dark Age, maybe less. They save 20% gold on gold units as well. Crossbows, knights, champions, man-at-arms, I mean, siege units, monks. That's a really cool bonus, but that's all they have. They just save gold on units. They don't have bonus for their food economy, their wood economy, which are more important resources. Their knights are cheap if you want to go for a double gold composition on castaways with crossbows and knights. That's kind of a good call with them. But not having any economy bonus, not have a very strong composition on Imperial, you kind of depend on Arbalest, and they only have, as far as light cav, they have the organ gun, but organ gun on Arabia is not a strong unit. They have good bomber cannons. There's no way I can place them higher than bottom of the C tier right now. Yeah, I can place them higher than here. That's the Portuguese. Saracens are very, very tricky civilization. They can be very weak. They don't have a direct. What's interesting about them? They don't have a direct economy bonus. They depend on the market to have their economy bonus, and their market is cheaper. It's very, very tricky to play against the Saracens. They can do something very unexpected by abusing the mark, like go archers and then being casted with 16 minutes, hitting your walls and killing your villagers already if you don't wow well enough, if you don't do a tower defense or anything. But the problem with Saracens, their strength is also their weakness. If you go for it, you depend on doing some damage on it. Because if you go for this all-in strategy and you don't do any damage, by default you're behind, because your economy is not going to be very good after you market abuse. So they are a very one-sided civilization. Not one-sided, but they're a very one-dimensional civilization. They have to abuse the market in order to survive. On post-Imperial, they have fully upgraded Arbalest and Hussars. They have siege rams. They are pretty good on post-Imperial, but they don't have economy bonus other than the market to get there. I would like to place them on the bottom of B tier, not on the bottom, over Mongols. Yes, I think that's where they deserve to be. I'd like to place Incas here actually, and Saracens over Japanese. I'm satisfied with that, I think. Maybe I can place even Incas over Indians and Cumans. No, not Cumans. Incas, Indians. Nah, let's leave it like that. But Eagles are very strong against the Indians. On the direct matchup, I prefer Incas, but overall I prefer Indians. So that's why Indians are there. Sicilians got a recent buff. They have an upgrade in the castle that gives 2% armor and 1 melee armor for the knights. And now they have the sergeants, which is a very tanky unit. They built theses faster, and the most interesting bonus is their land military units absorb 50% of bonus damage, meaning their knights are stronger versus pikemen, their crossbow stronger versus skirmishers, and so on. They don't get tumbling, making their arborless line a little bit weaker, as we talked about before. But overall, if you just go full knights the whole game, you can fight versus pikemen. You have an amazing economy. Also, they got double the benefit, if I'm not mistaken, for farm upgrades, making, if you do horse collar before farming on feudal, your farms will only end on middle castle age. Amazing to place the thesis faster with their bonus of placing thesis faster. They have amazing economy. Doesn't look like, but they have a pretty good economy. They lack an archer armor to be very strong in the composition, which we talked about as well. But if you just go full knights, they must be one of the best civs on B tier right now. Pretty good. Sicilians are. Yeah, I think they are there. Exactly. Pretty strong to play full knights, yes. Also, they have the upgrade on Castle Age that makes you produce 7 sergeants per TC. First Crusade, if I'm not mistaken. This is also a huge power spike, can be very situational, but in those situations, they're really strong and they can win a game like that. So, B tier for them. Alright, Slavs. Slavs produce the only bonus I can remember of Slavs. Their farmers work 10% faster. Also, their siege is cheaper and they have free supplies, but starting on feudal. So you're not really gonna use those free supplies to do Manatorum because you have to produce the Militia and Dark Age to become Manatorum. So you're not making a very good use of them. They might be good versus Eagles since you do Longsword and Castle Age, but that would be only versus Mesocivs. Their siege is paying cheaper is also good, but you don't really want to do much siege in Arabia since you need lots of mobility to deal with enemy units. I'm placing Slavs as the best C tier civilization because they lack a good unit. They lack army. They have fully upgraded cavaliers, fully upgraded halberdiers and champions, but their archer line sucks. I can't place them much higher. I have good monks as well, but there's some civs like just destroy them. Civs with camels usually good versus them. Civs with archer civs with economy bonus pretty good versus them. I don't really like playing Slavs. They lack a unique composition. They have an amazing economy, but they lack a unique composition. And if the enemy goes CA against you as the Slavs, you don't have good skirmishers. On Imperial, you have to do them on Castle Age in order to survive. I don't like to play in that situation as well, so I am placing Slavs here. Spanish, no economy bonuses at all. Build things faster. That's their economy bonus, basically not very strong. Another bonus of Spanish, gunpowder units fire faster. If I can remember more, I don't. D tier, worst civ in Arabia for me, Spanish, unless you can make use of conquistadors. But this Arabia is even more open, making it harder to hit the place where you have conquistadors. You're forced to either go conquistadors or to go for knights and skirmishers in Castle Age or full knights. So it's a very predictable civ, no economy bonuses. You're forced to play in the same way every time. It's not fun to play and it's not strong to play. That's why they're weak. If you can survive long enough until the gold ends, which is rare, you have access to full trash units, full skirmishers, scouts, hussars, champions, pikemen, siege ram, and strong villagers to destroy buildings even if you need. Bomber cannons, bomber towers if you want. Pretty amazing civ on post-imperial. Pretty weak on Dark Feudal and Castle Age. So that's why I'm placing Spanish as the worst civ right now on Arabia. Teutons. One of the best economy bonuses in the game. Their farms cost 34 or 36 wood, 34 if I'm not mistaken. They have amazing knights. They have amazing pikemen and longswords. They have resistance to conversions. If you get Teutons, if there were no archer civs in the game, Teutons S tier. Just playing Franks, Lituanians, Burgundians, Mallions. I would love to play Teutons, even versus Meso civs, Aztecs. Teutons are pretty good versus Aztecs. I like to pick them. Having so many archer civs here, Teuton for me is one bottom B tier or top C tier civilization. I think they're better than Slavs though. For me, Teutons are top C tier civilization. Yeah, if you have archer civs, you can just run. Their knights don't have husbandry, meaning they can't chase crossbows so well. And if you have CA, they will never see the color of your CA. CA just hit and run all day long. You can't really stop them. If you're just versus Huns, Tatars, or Mongols, you already GG. You don't even need to play. It's a civilization with many strengths and many weaknesses. They have some really good matchups though. Teutons versus Franks, pretty good to play. Versus Khmer, okay, Khmer still have good cavalry archers. Teutons versus Bulgarians, pretty okay for Teutons. They have amazing matchups, but overall they have giant weaknesses as well in such an open map like Arabia. So I could put them here, bottom of B tier. Prefer to put them top of C tier. Now we're going for the Tatars. Tatars, ship lasts longer. Every time you do a TC, you get 2 extra ships. Tumbling for free. And the hill bonus, which is very strong. You can, if you can camp on hills, you always get better fights, right? Amazing fully upgraded CA, one of the best of the game with 7 defense when fully upgraded. Fully upgraded CA. The Kashik, which is almost a paladin that costs us 45 of gold and generate golds while fighting. Dude, this civilization is strong. Fully upgraded skirmisher siege ram as well. Can't be any other place than A tier, if not S. I don't think it's on the same level of those 3. So I'm gonna place them on A tier, but for me they're the best A tier civ of all. Really strong civilization, Tatars. Turks. After they started getting bonus defense, 1 bonus defense since the Dark Age on scouts. If it wasn't for that, C or D tier. After this, one of the strongest civs from B tier actually. I would put them here. Mid B tier, yeah. So they have light cav free upgrade, and their light cav have 5 defense against archers, so they're really good against dealing with crossbow civs. They have one of the best CA in the game, the second best CA in the game, just losing for the Magyar CA on Imperial after upgrading Sipahi. They have Hussar upgrade for free as well. They have Siege Ram. They have Chemistry for free, Bombard Cannon. If you can go late in the game, they're amazing, but their only economy bonus is they collect 20% faster gold. Gold 20% faster. Not a very strong bonuses, just like Portuguese is not very strong, because gold is not the best resource to collect faster, right? But still good, I guess. They have amazing units. They like skirmishers and they like pikemen. That's also a factor to consider here. They struggle a lot versus a civilization like Vikings with strong economy and strong crossbows, because they can do skirmishers. So, and then the Vikings just stay on their base until they have arbalest, and then they go out and kill the Turks. Yeah. Mid B tier is good for them because of those reasons. Lacking skirmishers and not having a very solid economy bonus. If you can get post-imp though, one of the best civs in the game. Top 5 post-imp composition, along with Magyars, Cumans, Tatars, Mongols maybe, and some others. Vietnamese. Vietnamese economy upgrades don't cost wood. Very good bonus, very good economical bonus. You start knowing where your enemy is. You can lame. You can collect your deers without any rush to explore your enemy, because you don't have to be worried if you're gonna find him or not. You can always lure at least 2 deers maybe. Very good archery line. Their archers and skirmishers have more HP. They have access to the elite skirmisher, Imperial skirmisher actually. Fully upgraded light cav, not Husserl. Halbs, Rattan archers, which is a very amazing archer against archers with 10 defense. They have elephants as well, which are very situational, but pretty good. Vietnamese are a pretty strong civilization, almost B tier, but I wouldn't put them higher than the Sicilians. Makes sense for me. B tier have a better economy bonus than all of those. Strong archery line, yeah. I like them here. Exactly. Vikings is the S tier. I think they are very good against Aztecs. I would prefer to be Mayans or China, maybe. Arguably, I prefer Mayans because of the mobility. Yeah, Vikings S tier, just because they have free handcart, free wheelbarrow, fully upgraded arbalest, siege ram. They have the berserker that is pretty good with chieftains. Their pikemen are not bad with chieftains as well. Their man-at-arm rush is good with the extra HP from infantry starting on infantry starting on feudal wage as well. They have interesting bonuses for Arabia, but they don't have a good mobility. So you have to wow with Vikings and make use of your economy bonuses. Until early feudal, mid feudal, your economy bonuses will not kick in. They'll start kicking in late feudal. Then you can make use of that, but you still have the more HP on your man-at-arms on early feudal, which kind of pays up for that if you can make use of that. But after mid feudal, Vikings economy skyrocket. Early castle, they have the handcart for free already. Late castle, their economy is miles ahead of almost any other economy in the game. No reason not to put Vikings here. They're a very safe to play, safe choice in terms of civilizations. For me, one of the best on Arabia right now. So guys, that was my tier list. I still didn't put not Burgundians, Poles and Bohemians. I still have to test them. For now, I'd say both of them are A tier civilization, low A tier. Poles, they have the folwark. They have where you can place farms around them, and each farm you place will get 10% of the farm amount instantly, making Poles one of the strongest farming civ. If you make all your farms around folwarks, Poles are the best farming civs, being better than even Slavs. They have this castle upgrade, which makes the knights cost 60% less gold, making the knights cost 30 gold actually, which is insanely strong combined with the folwark bonus. Versus a arbalest civ and versus a knight civ, Poles sheep knights destroy everything. Poles knights, even though they lack the last defense, you don't even need cavalries. You can stay in Castle Age for as long as you want and dominate the hills with Poles. But Polish cavaliers, fully upgraded, in terms of cost benefit, they kill paladins, guys. They kill any melee unit almost. So be aware that's very strong, almost broken. Make use of that while it's still in the game. And there's also the interesting mechanic of when you collect stone, you also get half of your stone income in gold instantly, making them a very good civ for a man-at-arm rush. Or if you want to place a castle, you also get half the stone you collect in gold, which is not bad. So pretty interesting economy upgrade, pretty strong army on late Castle Age. I would put them on top. Poles, I would put them top A tier, top B tier, maybe bottom A tier, still thinking. And Bohemians have 4 economy upgrades for free. Gold meaning, gold shaft meaning, stone shaft meaning. They have the Wagons in the castle, very strong against archers, in my opinion. They died to monks pretty easily. Not very good versus knights, as I recall. Still have to test them. They have chemistry in Castaways, which is very strong. Their archers have chemistry. They destroyed +2 knights. They even kill skirmishers. You have access to the hunt cannoneer, which is a counter to mangonels, very easy. So if you just go full crossbow and some hand cannoneers, you can kill everything your enemy can do in Castaways with Bohemians. And they have a pretty strong economy. For me, they're A-tier civilization Bohemians, no doubt. I would say Poles are A-tier as well. I would place them both here. But still, just like Burgundians and Sicilians, we didn't know where they would be placed at the beginning. They will go after many balance upgrades. And I'm not sure. We still have to test a lot. We didn't figure them out yet. So guys, I'm sorry I spent 75 minutes recording this. I'm kind of tired, to be honest. I never thought I would last that long. I thought I would last 30 minutes to do the whole video. But, well, hope you guys enjoyed. It was a lot of work. So, if you guys liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.